Welcome back to Liquid Lunch. We have James-Erdt, Curtis Bell, and Alan Luke here joining us. And Hildegard, what are we talking about with these guys? Youth at risk?
Yes,
young boys and men?
We are talking about some interesting projects. James-Erdt is the CEO of Dynamo Entrepreneurs. And then we have Curtis Bell, a former Argonaut football player and hero of my 3 football-playing boys way back when. And we have Alan Luke with us as well. And Alan is also part of a project that the 3 of them do together, and that is called 9 Heavens Healing Academy. It's a project that supports young men at risk. And I'm just absolutely thrilled to bits to have you here. I know you have a very tight schedule, so thank you so much for coming in. And maybe, James, you just, without further ado, tell our audience, please, what is this all about? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, well, first off, thanks for having us. You know, we're honored to be here. It's great to be able to share the awareness about a project like this. Maybe we'll take it back a little bit so you understand the history of why I got into it to begin with. When I was 16, I was a good student, a great artist. I had a lot of fun with it. I was a youngster playing sports, and then it all changed with what seemed to be a minor decision at the time. It turned out to be a major life-altering choice. I smoked my first joint of marijuana. It led to grade slipping, skipping school, hanging out downtown, crime, violence, more drugs. Then I discovered raving, started a raving company, everything that went along with that. Long story short, by the time I was 30, 4 of my friends were dead from drug overdoses. 1 was shot dead from gang violence. Best friend, was one of these young lads that, would party with me for years on end, and we would do, a number of pills, lines, whatever, throughout a weekend. And we would do this for 10 years straight. And his famous saying was, in moderation, it won't kill you. When I was 33, I had already been out of the scene. My daughter looked at me when I was 30, and she's like, Dad, you're either going to end up in jail or you're going to end up dead. What if I need you? And I was like,
wow.
Wow.
Kids do speak the truth, don't they?
They do speak the truth. Yeah. And it woke me up. When I was 33, I got a call from my best friend. He's like, hey, you haven't been out clubbing for a little while. Why don't you come out? I was like, listen, thank you, out of sight, out of mind, not going to go. Next morning, his wife calls me, he's dead. Okay? 1 pill of ecstasy killed him. So you might as well put a bullet into a gun, spin the revolver, put it to your head, pull the trigger, because you have the same chances.
Well, I hope a lot of young kids are now listening, or hopefully will watch the video later, because really, there are no insignificant choices. We may not think of the consequences at the time, but thank you for sharing your story.
Yeah,
it's
ultimately, it's not about me. I'm not here to glamorize drug abuse in any way, shape, or form, or toot my own horn or what I've done. I'm lucky to be alive. One of the reasons we call it 9 is because a lot of these boys are on their 9th life. A step before that, I went from, becoming a personal trainer to master trainer to elite plus trainer to fitness manager to being nominated for Canadian Personal Trainer of the Year, Canadian Fitness Manager of the Year, eventually the largest revenue generating trainer in the history of the biggest fitness company in Canada. Long story short, anything is possible. If I can do it, right, the saying goes, etc. What we've done now is we've accumulated 2 different teams. We have a group called the Dynamo Tribe, which is under the leadership and the CEO of Dynamo Entrepreneur, Alan Luke. And we have Curtis Bell, who is the CEO of an organization called 9 Heavens Healing Academy and eventually Ranch for at-risk boys. So without further ado, I would love to introduce Alan just a little bit to explain the 10 divisions and what we're doing with our 5-3-1 system.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Just a pleasure to be here today. Dynamo Entrepreneur is all about living well and doing good, right? So we're pretty much a platform that grow and develop entrepreneurs to allow them to share their voice in the marketplace. Think of Whole Food, for example. Right? When you go to Whole Food, you expect 3 things: quality, service, and excellence. That is what exactly what we embrace in Dynamo Entrepreneur. So I'm going to talk very briefly about the 10 divisions. Okay, the first division we have is called a Dynamo Tribe. It's similar to the social network for entrepreneur, like a Facebook. Okay, and the second we have is the Dynamo University. That is where we actually gather 12 thought leaders. Okay, where they contribute 3 digital downloads every single month, so that entrepreneurs can go through these downloads at their own leisure time. And then we have the Dynamo Agency. That's where we actually source and actually find talents that can to train them to speak. Right?
That's kind of like a speakers bureau or something.
Exactly, like a trainer agency, right? We have the Dynamo Creatives, okay, where we actually take care of you from everything you need, from website design, banners, anything you think of that can, creatives, right? We have the publishing platform. Pretty much, we just launched. Actually, we had an Amazon bestseller for Dynamo Diaries. Okay, and it's phenomenal. We have the Dynamo Marketplace. Okay, Dynamo Marketplace is all about digital download for entrepreneurs that they can share the digital products. We have the Dynamo Rewards cards. It's similar to the SPC card, but for entrepreneur. Okay, we have the Dynamo events. We just actually launched an event last week with James leading the event. It's called the Success Blueprint Workshop. It's really training entrepreneurs to really doing well and actually how to live their life to the best ability as an entrepreneur. And then we have the Dynamo Podcast, where we do interviews with different entrepreneurs to pretty much allow them to learn different skills and actually how to help them share their voice. And Dynamo TV, James just had a TV show now, the Dynamo Show. And we have now 2 new divisions now. It's called the Dynamo Yes, which stands for the Youth Empowering Sustainability. It's a collective mastermind where we have 12 people to recreate something like the We Day. Okay, it's like our goal is to fill up the Sky Dome with 20,000 kids to empower them, to show them the better way. And finally, is the Dynamo Fun. It's all about fun, no business, just having fun.
This is amazing. Like, you are actually creating an incubator, if I may just summarize it like that, where you can take somebody who has an idea and has no clue how to translate it into something viable, which is what a lot of universities struggle with. There's a lot of educated young people that cannot find their way in the workforce, and you seem to give them everything they need to make that happen, and then create something where everybody can come together, easily share their expertise and market to each other or support each other.
That's right.
It's amazing. And you do this all with technology.
That's correct. Well,
that is your area of expertise.
Yeah, it's not me as well, but basically it's my team. Right now we have a very core team now that we are working together with. And obviously I work very close with James, visionary. And we're just so proud to support the 9 Heavens with Curtis, leadership of Curtis. So just phenomenal. I've never been so excited in my life.
Well, I could see that and I can actually feel it. And I think it's something that we really need as a society right now, because many of us are aware that the way it used to be is not working. The systems that have been there, you go to school, you get a good job, you make good money, you buy your house, you live happily ever. It doesn't work, right?
Very different world now.
We are now needing to look within and find our unique gifts and talents and then translate that into a contribution to society. Create a wow factor, exactly. And I think this is where the hope for the future really lies. I think people listening here might really get this, or I'd encourage you to really come and check this out in more detail, because we don't have a lot of time and we have a huge broad spectrum of stuff to talk about.
Absolutely.
It's very exciting.
We guide them not only with the professional life, but also the personal. So we have a 5 F-word system: food, fitness, family, finances, and fun. So in their personal life, we support them to put that oxygen mask back on themselves again, to get selfish in health. The extra energy, money, love, we give it away, right? So then we focus on our professional world, which has 3 HPOs. So an HPO is a high payout. So focus on 3, get rid of everything else, file it G. Garbage, whatever, delegate it, whatever you need to do. The more focused you are, the more your life expands.
Do what you really have the most fun at, what you're best at, what comes natural.
What you love.
Super,
so
super.
The 5, 3, and then the 1 is the give, right? So the give is actually 9 Heavens Healing Academy is our give as a collective.
Yes.
Right? So I would love to introduce Curtis Bell, but right before I do that, I'm going to get your team to cue our video, because we've had some success with the program already. We've had $900,000 granted by the Department of Justice, Canada, and this is a video that we would like to share on behalf of 9 Heavens.
Let's go in.
They're just getting that ready there. So
let's
getting ready for that.
Let's get back to you have 900. I missed something there. What were you saying? You have received funding?
Yeah.
Why don't you take that away? The Ministry of Justice has done what? What is the video going to talk to us about?
The video, the 9 Heavens Healing Academy video is on the Justice Canada Youth Initiatives Best Practices.
Perfect.
And we were very fortunate to receive 2 terms of funding from Justice Canada starting in 2009. So we engaged in 2 phases. that were both evaluated. The first evaluation was through the Harvard Trauma Scale, and we proved that through Dr. Kwame McKenzie from CAMH that our boys were ideally suffering from post-traumatic stress, which we call or coined urban survival syndrome. And that was just what they were inflicted with when you combine poverty and fatherlessness and illiteracy and the struggle to survive in their environment, and all of its implications in terms of mental illness that develop.
Right. Let's listen to it.
And the need to self-medicate as well.
Yeah. Well, it is a trauma. If you don't know where you belong, we're talking a lot about disenfranchised youth. Just watched something about a show about Winnipeg in particular, where there's a high concentration of indigenous peoples, and they have in their DNA a certain way of life, and are confronted with a world that doesn't give them any kind of support. So let's look at this. I think Christopher has it queued up for us.
Yeah.
The Nine Heavens Healing Academy targets gang, drug, and justice-involved youth from inner-city Toronto. Youth participate in weekend camps at Ohsweken territory to expand their frame of reference beyond the city streets. The program's emphasis on responsibility, combined with life skills development, helps young men realize the potential for a positive passage into manhood.
We're called Nine Heavens Healing Academy, and right now we're staying on the Ohsweken Six Nations, which is in the Grand River County, and we are a relocation program. All the boys that come to Nine Heavens from Jane and Finch are African Canadian. What it does is offer a opportunity to get in touch therapeutically with Mother Earth and the native culture. What we've done is we've combined the two cultures to come together because they both share in a lot of different ways, not just the struggle but resilience over the years. All of our boys are referred by our agency here in Toronto. They spend weekends with us. What we provide is micromanagement, and that is working on the details of life. So that could mean anything from social skills, character building. We definitely have to delve into their anger and the issues that govern all of their thoughts and moods. We provide them with education around hygiene, nutrition, academics, athletics. I mean, we're doing what parents do. Go, before you get the flick. Nine Heavens and YACE, which is the wraparound, provides them with habilitation.
Well, the program is called YACE. That's the Youth Association for Academics, Athletics, and Character Education. YACE was started initially to address the existing issue of gang polarization between kids north of Finch and kids south of Finch. We started this initiative to get the young people together to coexist. When I met Curtis and partnered with Curtis, it was an amazing opportunity to show young people just another way. There's a life outside of the poverty and the desolation and the despair that you see every day. The biggest challenge was dealing with, one, the lack of resources. Secondly, was dealing with just a huge degree of apathy that existed. To fix any problem, the large part is to identify it.
And that's basically what we're doing with Nine Heavens and YACE. We have young people that are self-medicating because of their PTSD. We call it urban survival syndrome, cat on a hot tin roof. If you're after me, I'm after you. That's survival. I heard a criticism, you can't have all these ex-gangbangers on your team. Well, yeah, you need them. Our street consultant's invaluable to me. He's the kind of role model they need. He's the role model that says, this is a life that I was once living, but now I aspire to a different life, and you could be like me.
For me, I was fortunate to have Devon Jones and Curtis Bell pull me aside and guide me to the right side. And that's what I want to do right now, and help out those kids as much as I can.
Building a relationship is the most important thing to effect any degree of social change. We have people that's been in and out of their life over an extended period of time, so they expect that. But once they see that you're around and you genuinely care and you have high expectation of them, they don't want to disappoint you.
You know what the glitter in their eye is? Someone who actually takes a minute out of their life to care about them. You know what the care is? The discipline that we filter through this. And if you don't give it to them, they're going to get disciplined on the street.
You know, when these kids do well, they want us to know, and it's evident when they do things you're not supposed to, they don't want us to know.
All of this is lessons, life lessons, my man. These are just a bunch of black men that care about black youth. Period.
6'2", already, grade 7.
So obviously these guys are doing some great work. Now, Curtis, I know you got to get going to Hamilton, so let's just kind of wrap this up. What can people do who are watching this to get involved, to help, or maybe they need some help?
First of all, we have to identify the problem. And it's a Canadian problem. It's not a Jane and Finch or the other 12 priority neighborhoods in the city problem. Gang activity and drug activity and everything under its umbrella is a growing concern. It involves all Canadians. We'll all be affected by it some way, shape, or form, even if it's economically. And what needs to be identified first, for me, is that the boys in our program are suffering from mental health issues and are usually punished, and we should stop punishing the victim and instead treating the victim. So how can you get involved? You can get involved in numerous ways at schools, their after-school programs, the police departments run very beneficial programs, community centers, churches, synagogues. This is a call to all people. There are kids dying in our streets.
No, we got a website up there, dynamoentrepreneur.com. Can people get in touch that way? And
yeah, right now, the Dynamo is actually the title sponsor of a few of the events that is going to be empowering the Nine Heavens tribe. We have a gala coming up in the spring of 2016 in Mississauga, so we can raise awareness about that. And we have a mastermind for Dynamo Yes. Dynamo Yes stands for Youth Empowering Sustainability. As Alan said, it's a We Day-like event. 50% of all of the infrastructure from the monies that come in goes directly to supporting the ranch of that initiative. So email us at info@dynamoentrepreneur.com, just how it sounds, info@dynamoentrepreneur.com, and either Alan or myself can either get you in touch with Curtis or Devon, which you saw into the video, and meet some of the team. Come on out and have a chai tea latte with us and talk about saving some kids.
And so people who aren't struggling difficult times, go on the website as well. Is there a phone number you would like to leave them with if somebody wants it?
No phone number
better over
right
internet.
now. Let's just keep it to an email. And as we evolve the project, the website and everything in the portal will be developed. This is taking it from a very on-the-ground weekend type event to more of a full-term, long-term facility. So we're just researching ranches right now that we're looking to move into 2016, so we actually have permanent beds, and we're going to be working as a 1-to-1 ratio, 1 coach per boy. So 9 boys, 9 coaches, and that's the kind of love and attention that they need.
So this is a big brother concept in a whole new direction.
In a whole new light.
Wonderful. And congratulations on your success that you had so far already.
Thank you.
Getting the Ministry of Justice to support you in your venture.
Thank you.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
being
so
here,
much.
gentlemen, and I hope
You're
we get to
very
see you
welcome.
again soon.
Absolutely.
You will.
Thank you.
And you guys are welcome to come back and spend a little bit more time, get into it in a little bit more detail. So
That'd be great.
Where are
Thanks,
they
guys.
now in a year?
yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
All right, we're going to take a little break here on thatchannel.com. We're going to be coming back with a lot more great stuff.